که فقط امسال یک دختر خانم اول شوه تا دل مردا بکفه.
خانم‌ها تازه فهمیدن که حقشان چی است. وقتی است که مسئله را بسیار زیاد جدی بگیریم و صدای خود بکشیم پیش از اینکه دیر شود.
او باید ممنوع دخول گردد. این قسم انسان‌ها بیخی در روی زمین افغانستان باید جای نداشته باشد.
اگر طالبان دوباره برگردند چه دشواری‌های دیگری امکان است که فرا راهش باشد؟ ما هیچ وقت فکر نمی‌کردم که طالبان به این آسانی افغانستان بگیرن. It's like a nightmare that I'm just not able to wake up from.
Welcome back, everyone. That was a clip from the feature documentary, And Still I Sing, which follows the emotional journey of three incredibly brave women who risked their lives in a patriarchal society where it's taboo for women to sing.
And joining us today is the Afghan-Canadian writer and director of this film, Fazila Amiri. Welcome to the show.
We're very happy to have you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Now, Fazila, you had a childhood in Afghanistan, and then you became a refugee after the Taliban regime took control in 1996. What do you remember about that time?
Yeah, I spent my childhood in Afghanistan, and I remember when the Taliban first came to power in 1996, suddenly they announced the closure of girls' schools, and women were not allowed to work. My mom was forced to wear a burqa, and she couldn't leave home, so we had no choice but to leave the country. So once we resettled in Canada, I thought filmmaking is a great way for telling stories and to do it through our own narratives. I thought it was important to preserve our culture that I know, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, and in this documentary film, you have followed the stories of three women who are courageously fighting for their voices to be heard. Tell us more about how they persevered against all of that discrimination.
So I'm interested in characters who are very passionate and have a vision for life and are, they have their own way of living, and they advocate for women's rights. And one of those characters that I met in Afghanistan was our very pop star, very controversial and very women's rights activist, Ariana Saeed. And she was very, encouraging change, and she was fighting patriarchy through her bold and dynamic music. And once we started filming her world, we were introduced to the show where she was working as a celebrity judge. And that's when we meet the two other girls who are very inspired by her influence as their mentor. And together they fight against patriarchy through their music. And they want to become the first female winners of this show, which was very important for me to be there and preserve their sisterhood and friendship and in a post-Taliban society.
Yeah, and we see some of the obstacles that those women face in that documentary, which is done so well. Talk to me about the obstacles that you face making this film.
Yeah, I think as a woman filmmaker working in any conservative society is very it's not free of risks. So you have to be there, you have to motivate yourself and thrive every day to fight patriarchy and still work for women's rights in the country. So, but I was grateful that I had a great team. Our Canadian team was there and my Afghan crew was there. So it was, we navigated the challenges and we worked through to make this film inside the country.
Yeah, that's incredible. I like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Please applaud for that.
Yeah.
And sorry, not to jump on you, were you ever scared? Was there ever a moment where you were afraid for your own life?
Yeah, I think when we were filming this documentary, the peace talks were happening at a rapid speed. The Taliban were signing a peace deal with the United States, Trump administration. And that really created a lot of fear for people and women in Afghanistan inside the country. And we were protesting for our rights. You know, we didn't want to go back to the darker times. And security was worsening. Every day there was suicide blasts in the city, threatening the lives of ordinary people. So we were scared for the safety of the girls and our team. And it was a challenging time, but at the same time, we had this momentum for progress and peace and stability and to, showcase our talents. We had that platform. But it was really heartbreaking to see that, all the 20 years of gains for women's rights have been pitched back to the darkness under Taliban now.
Wow. There are distressing visuals that we saw in the clip, and you were actually there when Kabul was sieged in 2021. How did it feel to be in the middle of that?
So it was very, very challenging. It was very heartbreaking. It was very shocking that everything happened at such a fast and rapid speed. We were not expecting the return of Taliban, and women were not, they didn't believe in 1 second that Taliban have changed. So it was really emotional to see, you know, how much we gained our rights for the past 20 years only to lose everything that overnight, you know? So it was challenging to navigate through, but we stopped filming for a bit because we were really worried about the safety of our characters. And once they managed to escape the country and seek asylum elsewhere, then we started resuming, you know, filming and covering the story, which was a very important part of their life and the tragedy that happened. Yeah.
How are the three singers now? And where are they now?
Yeah, so our pop star Ariana Saeed is living in Istanbul, but she's from UK. She's advocating for women's rights through her music, through her concerts, and giving hope for our community. And Zahra Ilham, the girl who won the show for the first time, she resettled in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, wow.
And the other girl, Sadiqa Madadgar, her story was very tragic because she was stuck in Afghanistan. We had to provide her safety to be in a safe house for a bit, and she was evacuated to Abu Dhabi refugee camp. But recently, she was provided asylum in Germany. So I'm very happy that they're safe.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they've been through so much, and I care about them deeply. And I'm happy that they're still, you know, thriving. They're still singing for themselves and for women's rights back home.
My goodness, thank you so much for being
Fantastic.
here with
Thank you
us
very
today.
much.
My goodness, viewers, check out the film tomorrow on demand, and we're going to be right back. Thank you so much. Hey there, wasn't that great? Do you know where you can find some equally good content? Our YouTube page. It's filled with discussions, debates, and some laughs. Head there now, like and subscribe.